Alumni, the red and black team, against our current team, the Queensborough Community College Tigers, 2014-2015.
This is QCC alum David Russell along with Joe Massey. Game 2 of the Alumni doubleheader about to begin. Don't know if it could top the first game, but the Alumni are about to take on the 2014-15 version of the Queensborough Tigers. And what do you expect to see from this new team, Joe, after the Alumni, the red team, beat the black team at the buzzer?
I don't know, David. I just we're going to sit in and try to investigate all we can in terms of what's going on. As you look at the Alumni team, they're putting out their pretty good starting lineup, but as you know, these young guys can get up and down the court. So we'll see how this game is played in terms of exactly what is done and in what fashion it's done.
A few familiar faces for Queensborough on the current team. A few guys that played the year Robert Holford was the coach in 2012-13 and didn't play last year. Now they're back. Eric Light, number 20, and Jordan Chateau, who's going to jump number 15. Remember, he wore 25 2 years ago. James Wells wears that number now for the Tigers, if you care about that kind of thing.
Let's watch the opening tip here, and we're underway.
Patrick Brown goes all the way to the basket. It's 2-0 Queensborough.
Made it look easy, didn't he?
To the Alumni wearing a mix of red and black. And they tie the game at 2. This one starting where the last one left off. Here's Eric Light. Light misses that one.
Amengo on the rebound. You say, do they have enough veteran leadership on the Alumni team? They have that. Do they have legs to keep up with these guys for the full 20 minutes?
So
that's
turnover.
Nice.
Nice passing, and Keough finishes. It's 4-2 Alumni.
That's the way we used to do it in the park. Make these young guys work.
Here's Eric Light. Nice bounce pass, Chateau. And Chateau ties the game at 4.
He's too big, isn't he?
I think he's going to give a lot of teams problems as Dabney Hunt misses that one.
Whoop.
It's kicked. Almost went through the hoop.
Ricochet for 2.
Nice move by Joshua Lee at 6'4 Queensborough.
They have some nice athletes on this Queensborough squad this year.
Here's Santos. Dabney Hunt. Hunt got tripped up. He didn't expect Patrick Brown to move where he did.
Joshua Lee and
Lee hits a 3.
Patrick Brown doing the ball handling honors, and Lee
5 points now for Joshua Lee. A nice
makes
three-pointer.
it 9-4.
Hunt tries to answer back, misses. Tipped Queensborough ball. They're running, and Eric Light got behind the defense, and Light is fouled. So Eric Light will go to the line.
Hunt trying to get back with him, and he might need a rest after that. They're going to take Hunt out and substitute for him.
Eric Light went to Forest Hills High School, so he knows a man who used to coach there, Ben Chobapon, now the coach at LaGuardia. Light hits the first, 10-4. Light was valuable 2 years ago for the Bobby Holford team. He didn't score a ton of points per game, but he shot a high percentage, one of the highest in CUNY actually. And Light makes it 11-4. 4 different Tigers have scored already in the first 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Light tipped, no good, tipped again. Keogh inside, and it's good, 11-6.
Showing he still has the roll ability to the basket on that one. Here's Terran. He's coaching the men's team. Terran Simpson, by the way, because Carl is playing in the game.
Nice moves by Chateau. It's 13-6. Near turnover. Alumni back the other way, up and under. Keogh couldn't put it in. Joshua Lee tried to cut through the defense, lost it in between 2 alumni. Nice pass, pull-up jumper, no good. They would have taken it to the basket, but Chateau was standing there. Alters a lot of shots. That three-pointer is no good, rebounded by Wills. Light, nice pass. Inside, it's 15-6.
Yeah, they were too quick on that exchange right there. They got to the loose ball, and then they just darted it back inside.
Light found Brown cutting to the basket, and then a foul at the other end committed by Chateau on Amory Taylor.
By the way, the Queensboro team last year, a little bit subpar. They did not have the team they had the year before with Carl Lamengo, and they have some things to work on this year.
They lost a game here, 53-50 to BMCC. That really hurt their chances at the end of the season, so they missed the CUNY and the regional playoffs.
They need to be more consistent, as we saw. They were very inconsistent last year. They had some good games. We did one here.
They lost a tough one to LaGuardia.
I remember they won a big Saturday afternoon contest here, and then they turned out the next game, and they just played very poorly.
I think that was against Orange.
Yeah.
So, right, the big win. Actually, the loss here to LaGuardia is Eric Light misses that one.
That was a big loss, yeah.
Well, that actually later got turned into a win because LaGuardia had to forfeit that one.
Oh, okay.
That was a great game. One of the best we've seen is Light misses again. Santos the rebound. And then a reach-in foul. Light trying to do a little too much after he missed.
But they would play some good minutes last year, and then they just slough off, and they weren't competitive for like a 10-minute stretch, and the game was out of their reach.
And they lose Joseph Turner, who played here for 2 years, who was the good scorer for them as that shot is off. So they'll try to replace the points that Turner could score for them.
And they'll be one of the guys who'll be trying to do it there.
Joshua Lee airballed a 3.
Out of Benjamin Cardoso High School, by the way, right across the street.
As a new group of Tigers goes in. Sorry, Joe.
And I'm sorry. And they have turned out some pretty good guards, Benjamin Cardoso, over the years.
The defending PSAL champions, as that shot is good.
Terran Simpson, by the way, is a Benjamin Cardoso guard.
Bibbin Stressa, the floater, was an air ball. Nice save. Move inside. No good. Couldn't get the friendly roll.
It's nice to see that Cardoso won last year. They had so many top-flight teams that would go to the Garden and lose or lose in the semifinal, but last year they pulled the trick, right?
The Brooklyn schools had been passing them by, just barely. It wasn't like Cardoso fell off a lot.
No, they had good players. They had a big guy named Theo Davis. He was about 6'10", and he could play. He was a high recruit.
Loose ball. Going out of bounds, and it will stay with the Alumni.
So Ron Niclario, he always brought in good players over there, and he won the championship last year that had been out of his grasp for several years.
I think his last win had been 1999. as Queensboro comes back the other way, and a foul is called. Kareem Paul.
Of course, there were about 4 years over there where you couldn't even get close to the championship with Sebastian Telfair and then the kid from Indiana, Stevenson, and Lincoln was just rolling them up.
The guards those Brooklyn schools produce is incredible. And for such a long time as well.
But I'll tell you what, the Cardozo-Lincoln games were terrific. I mean, they gave them everything they could handle.
Queensboro can't put it in. The Alumni have the ball. And how about another guard? As that shot doesn't go down. A guard who went to Boys and Girls High School back when it was just called Boys High, Lenny Wilkins, who then brought Jerry Powell, the Queensboro coach, to him to be an assistant with the Atlanta Hawks. Because Powell had gone to Boys High with them and they stayed friends throughout the years.
They didn't do too well in Atlanta, though, at that time. Not the success that they had with the Supersonics by any means.
No.
And ever since, it's been a real tough sell, basketball in Atlanta, and getting the team back to where they wanted to get. Anyway, they were never a glory team, to put it, but they did have Pete Maravich, and they did have several great players like Lou Hudson and others.
There's a nice shot by Bibin Sresta. 17-9, Queensboro, 6 minutes in. Atlanta had some very good teams in the 80s, but... I'm
not going to leave out Dominique Wilkins, of course. Right. Couldn't beat the Celtics, though. You're right.
The all-time heartbreaking games, losing to Larry Bird, that duel. The thing about the East at that time, Boston, Philly, and Milwaukee had tremendous teams that got buried.
Yeah. They had a pretty good coach, too, Cotton Fitzsimmons.
Queensboro back the other way. Sresta pull-up three is good. Bibin Sresta makes it 29. 5 quick points for Bibin.
You like to see that. We're going to be looking for that this year. That instant offense there. There's Emengo down the lane.
Nice answer back. It's 2011. There was an interesting thing, speaking of 80s basketball, is that floater is good by Kyle Reed. 22-11. The team that won the third most games in the 1980s was actually the Milwaukee Bucks, a team that didn't make one NBA Finals as timeout is called. How many people would guess them?
Well, they had terrific players, and they had a great coach in Don Nelson, but you mentioned the team that took a lot of teams off come semifinal or getting to the last round, the Boston Celtics. They just couldn't outmaneuver the Boston Celtics, and a lot of teams went down to them. But when you talk about Marcus Johnson and the array of talent there in Milwaukee, it was
Sidney Moncrief,
and then they had Robertson a few years after. They just had tremendous teams. They were fun to watch, too.
And then they finally get past Boston, and then they lose to Philly.
So, that's what happens, because Philly had the dynamo team.
Counted and the foul. Nice play by Emengo.
And other teams, of course, had a little more money to spend and brought in a few more superstars to knock them out.
And the Lakers in the West would always get top draft picks. Magic Johnson is a #1 pick. And then they won the title and then got another #1 pick, James Worthy.
They made a nice trade to get Jabbar, though, with the Bucks. And that probably is one of the things the Milwaukee fans rued for many years. And they were at a loss when they lost Jabbar.
Nice putback by Kareem Paul. It's 24-13. I think James Worthy would have been the best player on a lot of teams. He was the third best player on that Laker team.
Tenacious player.
And great at North Carolina. He's the most outstanding player when North Carolina won in '82. And that three-pointer is an air ball. Three-pointer at the other end is an air ball.
Air ball city. Hey, I talked about Cotton Fitzsimmons. He was the coach of Atlanta at that time, and he was so active and so involved in the game that the fans behind the bench, one guy was getting on him one night at the Garden. He says, "Cotton, I'm going to get you a pair of roller skates."
Then it was Mike Fratello in the
and
late
Mike
80s.
Fratello did well, yeah.
Hubie Brown was there.
Hubie Brown, Dominique Wilkins. Dominique Wilkins was like a highlight film himself.
How about Spud Webb, a 5'7"
And Spud
player,
Webb, the smallest guy in basketball.
to win a dunk contest, no less.
Here's the foul drawn on the tenacious play. And, you know, that's part of the basketball tradition. You know, if you're a tenacious player, you're going to make plays like that, pick up fouls. You've got to be valuable to any team you play for.
First free throw is off. Joshua Williams at the line.
So give Josh Williams a check for getting there, but he couldn't convert the free throw.
And Rodney Monroe just checked into the game. Number 44 for the Tigers. Williams misses both, got his own rebound, and then puts it in off glass. Alumni couldn't box out. It's 26-13. 8 different Tigers have scored already in the first 8.5 minutes. Inside Hunt is called for traveling.
Well, the Alumni team having it a little tough sledding here with 11:29 to go in the first half. They have to slow down the game a little bit. They have to find a way to put some bodies on this younger team. That'll
Williams
help
was
right
on
there.
The line.
Yeah. Yeah, that Milwaukee Laker trade was one of the biggest trades of all time. I mean, Brian Winters and others going over, and then Jabbar going over to the Lakers. And you got to say he was the foundation of those championships. I mean, he was the guy.
And then it really changed once they drafted Magic Johnson, because Kareem had been losing in the playoffs a few years. Portland beat them in '77, that classic Trailblazer team. A nice three-pointer by Anthony Boyd, who makes it 26-16.
But you know, Dave, back in those days, not many people had a center like Jabbar.
No.
That could play at that level. And, you know, the game has kind of gone in a different direction these days. You don't have to have a center like that anymore. So the Lakers were in the heyday of the center. They picked up the biggest center ever. And then probably the most talented center ever for what he could do on the basketball court. Now, yeah, I know people are going to talk about Wilt Chamberlain and Bill Russell, but Jabbar just took over a game when he was going on the offensive end.
All-time leading point scorer in NBA history. Not bad at UCLA either.
Not bad at UCLA, right. And Bill Walton wasn't bad there either. No. But, hey, look, if I had to put all three together, I would. I'd say Chamberlain, Russell, and Jabbar. You can't get better than that.
I also remember Lou Alcindor at Power Memorial before he was known as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Right.
I think he lost one game there in 3 years to DeMatha High School.
And who would I put just out of that column? Well, you know, strange to people if I mentioned, but, you know, Hakeem Olajuwon was pretty good. And Moses Malone. And then, of course, the great guy in the Laker most recent days, Shaq, wasn't bad at all either.
Hakeem Olajuwon, talk about underrated.
Oh,
he never seems to come up like that.
He was such a great athlete, and you didn't realize he was 6'11" the way he moved. It was unbelievable.
Let you know how underrated he is. Think the Rockets picked him ahead of Michael Jordan, and nobody ever says they made a bad pick.
No.
Like, think about how good you have to be to offset that. 2 NBA titles.
They got a couple of titles out of it, and he got one in in college with the Houston Cougars, of course. So he was great.
About him in Houston, him and Clyde Drexler together.
Yeah.
And they couldn't beat NC State.
And Kenny Smith, and so and I think Rudy was the coach, right? Rudy Tomjanovich.
With the Rockets.
Yeah.
Yes. I think 94, Hakeem beat Ewing, and then 95, he beat Shaq for the title. I mean, he really took on the top guys. Eric Light, nice bounce pass. Joshua Lee, baseline jumper is no good.
Good rebound. And let's see if the red team could do something. They got this lead down to 8 here, so work on it a little bit at a time.
9:45 to go inside Kia.
Kia had a good first game, and the Alumni game, that time he stayed in there, couldn't come up with the ball, and they are hustling the Alumni team right now.
Too far underneath, back outside, the jumper is good. And it's 28-18, Sanjay Carter with his first points of the game.
Their strategy has to be make these guys slow down, make them force some shots, make them get a little bit off their game, and maybe we could get back in it. And that's what they're doing.
That's 9 Tigers now who've combined for 28 points.
See, because when they get out and run, you're not going to stop them.
Eric Light tried to go off glass, couldn't do it. Joshua Lee had it momentarily, lost it.
And they want to play a running game here.
Kia missed, got it back underneath, and he's fouled.
How about Mazzabrata running a little interference for him there with his big body, getting it in between.
And he's a much bigger guy than number 4, Sanjay Carter, who's standing next to him at the line. Sanjay Carter's looking, what am I supposed to do here?
I spoke to him between games, Mazzabrata down in the lobby there. He told me he had a couple of playing opportunities, one in Croatia, one in Sweden, and decided to stick with the business aspect of things. And I said, you probably made a good choice, because as he pointed out, which is very adroit, as you get older in the European ball, first of all, you're not making that much, but you're making enough to live on, but your value is going to go down, so you're not going to make the money that you need to make, and he made a good move, I guess.
8:46 to go, Tigers up 28-19.
You know, David, that's where a lot of these Division II, he played at NYIT in Division II also, as well as here at Queensborough. That's where they find themselves, a lot of these guys, with decisions to make. Am I going to play a little pro ball, or am I just going to dedicate myself to what I went to school for? Mm-hmm. Not an easy decision to make, by the way.
No. And the three-pointer is good.
Wow.
Anwar Bowling, who had a nice game in the Alumni versus Alumni game that preceded this one, makes it 28-22.
Yeah, Bowling had a hot start in that game, and now he adds a big bucket here.
And Joshua Lee tries to answer back, instead throws up an air ball.
Being that you're covering the Queensborough squad of this year, you would like to see Lee shoot that ball better than he shot it right there.
Timeout called by Teron Simpson. 8:04 to go. It's 28-22.
What do you think Teron's telling them right now? You're playing against a bunch of guys that are older than I am, and you got to be more careful with what you do out there.
And funny, he's wearing the Alumni jersey while coaching the current team.
An enemy in our huddle.
He's going to go over at halftime and tell the Alumni what he tells them. On counter espionage. Everybody forgot who had the ball also. Now they're running back down to the other end.
I don't even see Tom around right now. Where did he go? He's
trying to get over the first game.
Maybe he had to take a little break.
And a foul called on Sanjay Carter.
The Alumni team is being coached by committee right now. Well, it's 28-22. Let's see what they come up with here, David. No inside shot available there, so they go out to Bowling and back in and threw it away.
Bowling didn't expect Santos to be cutting outside. Went to where Santos was instead of where he was going. 7 minutes and 40 seconds to play in the first.
You're an alumni. How would you like to play in one of these games?
I don't think anybody wants to see that. Carter misses the three.
Oh, it's an alumni game. That's what I'm saying.
True. I'll stay up here with the microphone like you.
There you go. You're a smart guy. I always knew you were.
White to Lee. Goes out of bounds.
Looked like it went off his knee, but somebody might have contacted it after it went off his knee, which is what the call's going to be.
So Queensboro will keep it. Lee counted on the foul. Joshua Lee makes it 30-22.
Nice move. He went down the right side of the lane, cut to his left, and he got swiped a little bit.
Lee has 7 points now.
By the big guy, Mazzabrado, who just got a piece of him. 30-22.
Couldn't finish the conventional three-point play. Alumni back the other way.
It's an 8-point lead again. Ooh.
Nice move.
Carly Mengo.
30-24. Carter misses.
Oh! Carly Mengo again on that rebound.
And all of a sudden, it's 30-26.
He's igniting his alumni team against his current team. That's what he's doing. I guess he knows his team's weaknesses, huh?
I guess. It's got to be tough. So if Amengo plays well...
Look, he got another rebound.
If he plays well, is he going to be unhappy with his current team for letting him play well? Carter puts it in left-handed, 32-26. Carter.
Fearless move there.
4 points for number 4.
Sanjay.
Yep.
Let's see if Amengo tries to take center stage here. No, he gives up the ball, and that was an air ball right there.
It's a really deep three right in front of the Queensboro bench. Pull-up jumper for Carter is no good.
He could have made it tough on the black-red team, but he couldn't do it. He would have put down the jumper. It would have been an 8-point lead again. So they're hanging around.
Santos, it's a long two. He was on the line. It's no good. Light tipped it right to Amengo.
Amengo again.
Nice pass inside.
Oh.
Taylor finishes off glass. It's 32-28.
Carl Amengo doing all he can to beat his current team.
As long as we don't say that during the regular season.
That's right.
Inside back outside, Lee to Light. Light going baseline. Nice handoff, and a foul is called. Monroe will go to the line.
Well, like I said, he's going to have a lot of ammunition to talk to these guys with the way he's playing out here. You know, if he tells them to do something, they're going to know he can do it out there. I told you to box out because you saw how I boxed out.
Monroe misses the first. As a few new Tigers are going to go in.
And you know how it is with the younger guys, David. You could tell them things a million times, and it just doesn't have an impact until you're 20 points down and you're out of the game.
And then they start to listen.
And maybe not. Maybe not even then.
Joshua Williams with the offensive rebound. Chateau.
Whoop. Whoop.
There's a charge.
A little careless on that one.
Keller took the charge, not that he had a choice. Chateau was coming like a runaway train.
So the Alumni making a good showing for themselves in this game. I think the younger guys want to get geared up and say, come on, we can't let the score get this close here.
Could we have another buzzer beater?
No, nice passing lane play there.
Wilkins puts it in off glass. It's 34-28.
That's the way to play ball there.
10 different Tigers have scored now.
And as we said, he has the right last name for a basketball player, Wilkins, right? There have been two of them that we spoke about during these broadcasts, Lenny and Dominique. And you could even throw Dominique's brother in there. He wasn't bad either, Gerald Wilkins.
Yeah.
Not on the level of those two, but he was pretty good.
Former Nick. the late 80s.
Talk about having pressure on you with Dominique as a brother. I mean, he had to really be at the top of his game all the time.
Here's Dabney Hunt.
He's a nice guy, too.
And Santos takes away that pass. Queensboro had numbers. Now the Alumni back the other way.
Wilkins with another steal there.
The team's trading turnovers.
Couldn't hold on to the ball, but he got it knocked away. You know, for all the pressure Gerald Wilkins was under, I say he was a nice guy because he never lost his temper. He's always an even keel, just a nice young man when he was playing anyway.
Four minutes to go in the first half. Patrick Brown to the basket. Couldn't put it in, but he was fouled. No shot.
He'll go to the line with a 6-point lead for the white-clad current Queensboro Tigers. They'll be in here in a few weeks playing for real, right?
I think November 6th is the first home game. Taking on Nassau, I believe, if that's right.
And Nassau's pretty good, right?
Nassau,
David's going to tell me, no, they're like 1 in 30, Joe.
A.J. Winder, who's been the coach in Nassau.
Oh, A.J. Winder. Wow.
Since
former Fairfield Stag.
Former Boston Celtic for a little while.
Did he play with the Celtics, A.J. Winder?
A handful of games.
Wow. I know he's a good Stag.
That's a deep three from Santos. Way downtown, 36-31. Actually, A.J. Winder has been the Nassau coach since 96 or 97. He has never lost to Queensboro.
He was a good ball player, boy. Talk about fast and quick on that jump shot when he made his cut. He beat the Army Black Knights on several occasions with that shot, and we were doing the games there at the Fairfield Arena.
And Nassau finished, I believe, in the top 5 in the country last year. They've been number 4.
Very good. No, that's not bad then.
Yeah, I went up to Sullivan County to watch their final game.
They don't have many teams there in Long Island anymore. So
you have Nassau and Suffolk fighting for supremacy.
They lost their hockey teams. They lost their basketball teams. They've lost everything.
Can they still call the Islanders when they don't play on the island?
They're going to play a few games there, but
they'll be in Brooklyn.
They're going to renovate the Coliseum, have them play, choice games there, like maybe 5 a year or something.
Chateau throws it to nobody.
Well, somebody comes up with some money, you may see a pro basketball team go in Nassau around that area again. You never know.
And we'll stay with the Alumni.
No, 3 basketball teams in New York, that would be tough, though.
I don't see that happening in the immediate future.
There are 3 hockey teams, so.
One of them is in New Jersey, though.
Yeah. But it's just a stone throw away from Manhattan. If you have a pretty good arm.
Maybe for Vladimir Guerrero or somebody like that.
What do you take? 1 train stop and you get there from Penn Station? A couple of them anyway?
I'm not really sure.
I don't know what the new setup is. Yeah, I talked about Long Island, but Jersey lost all their teams too.
Nets to Brooklyn?
Yeah. Of course, they were never well supported, so you can't even make an argument. And the Giants get support, and the Jets get support.
Used to play at Yankee and Shea Stadium.
Nah, there's nothing like when they used to play at Yankee Stadium. It was unbelievable. That was a real football field, for goodness sake.
Where the greatest game ever played was played in 1958 at Chateau. Nice basket, 38-31. Chateau with 6 points.
That view from the upper deck was just incredible there at Yankee Stadium. Watching a football game even, it was just incredible. There you go.
Nice
I
play
think
inside.
Amengo was part of that again.
Nice play by Taylor inside to finish. And then a charge is called. So the ball will go back to the Alumni.
Yeah, the young man in too much of a hurry there, and he just galloped through and blew someone down to the floor.
Queensboro leading 38-33, 2:26 to go.
My friend and I went to one game at Yankee Stadium. It was the Giants and the Redskins, and it wasn't even close. Redskins blew them out, and we had a great time.
Patrick Brown, double dribble.
Patrick Brown. But we had a kid in the class who used to bring in scorecards because he had season tickets, and he used to show me them every week. And I said, this guy's so lucky. It used to be pictures of the Dallas Cowboys in there playing. You wonder how it would feel to have a season ticket when you were just a kid like that, you know?
Taylor scored again. It's 38-35.
You never had
Amengo
season
hobbles off
tickets
the
when you
court.
were a kid, right?
No.
No. Not too many people do. (38-35). It is still a ball game. Thanks to Carl Amengo.
Is Williams a little closer than he should be at the free throw line? Is that the free throw stripe he's at, or is he supposed to be at the one behind it?
Yeah, he's not at the right line.
He's on the wrong one.
Right, but they're not going to allow that one anyway.
No,
Still has
yeah,
one more. Now they're arguing whether he should lose both free throws because of that, but
they use this for handball. They use this for a lot of things.
Yeah, they got a blue piece of tape down there.
And he hits from further back. How do you like that?
Well, I guess being closer threw him off because he didn't realize where he was.
Or maybe he was just trying to get closer. Can't blame him for trying.
But now Tehran's going to tell him, you have to look at where you are all the time. You can't just take it for granted because you see a blue line.
Well, there are two blue lines.
Yeah, they're so close together.
Yeah. I'm standing at the blue line like you told me to. What now?
Up is up and down is down. Is it? Down is down? What? What are we doing here?
So after all of that, it's 39-35.
No harm, no foul. Let's see if the Alumni team, they're going to go into the locker room. It looks like close in this game. Oh, they don't really go in the locker room anyway. They just kind of hang around out there.
Or like scattered behind the bench.
Yeah. So they're going to go behind the bench close in this game, just to be correct.
Patrick Brown with 5 points so far.
Very enjoyable day to this point.
What are you expecting to happen in the second half?
I don't know. Both games have been good, though, so far. The other one was a little better. This one is pretty good, though. The other one came right down to the final buzzer. Won by Robert Alexis.
Brown splits the free throws. It's 40-35.
And you do these ball games and then you show them here, and I don't think anyone's going to be familiar with the name of Robert Alexis, but after this game they will.
I guess Queensboro fans of a certain age might remember.
Think so.
Depends who's watching.
Where are they shown? It depends on how many older people will get a view of it.
I guess.
You have to go back probably to about 97, 207, 97.
We don't have to go back that far, Joe.
No, that would put you in just another category. Probably black and white the game would be shown in.
We're talking about 1997.
You mean they didn't have internet at that time? No, they didn't. They didn't have as much in 97.
No foul called. Keough underneath.
Boy, you don't stop working, though, does he? There's a kid that played at Baruch, Lou Pinto, and that's who Keough reminds me of. He's got his body in there all the time, just leaning on people, grabbing the ball, and And I went down to the Baruch alumni game a couple of years ago, and I saw Pinto and his wife and children, and I said, Lou, you're not a kid anymore.
40-37. 80 seconds to go in the first half. Nice move by Brown, and then is fouled, much to the chagrin of the Alumni.
I'll give the young guys credit. Every time they've had to answer, they've come up with something. And mainly it's been kind of slicing and dicing through that defense. So they have a lot of speed on this team that we can see up front here.
Did you figure out the guard that reminded you of Edwards from last year? As Brown hits the first, it's 41-37.
It's not Shrestha. Bibin Shrestha. I don't think he's with the team.
42-37. Was it Joseph Turner?
Nope.
Henry Birch, maybe?
I liked Henry Birch. It might be Henry Birch.
Way up is good for Kevin Wilkins. It's 44-37, 1 minute to play.
I think it might have been Henry Birch. That's good. Good. Thank you, David.
I can sleep easily tonight.
Birch was pretty good, though.
Loose ball, and after all of that, the Alumni come up.
Look what I got. That was a look at what I got.
Yeah.
I'm taking to the basket.
And James McDaniel got 2 points, 44-39. And Queensboro can basically hold for the final shot. Turnaround jumper at the free throw line is no good. And the Alumni can hold for the final shot if they choose.
I see they have a number 35 down there at the table on display, a uniform. Is that Atkinson's old uniform?
No, they have the Atkinson
picture
plaque next to it on the right. And then Nassim Mack, jersey 35 for the late Queensboro athlete.
For who?
Nassim Mack.
Oh, Kassim Mack. Okay. Always remembering even the departed members of their family here, so that's nice.
Santos misses the first.
And these guys were members of their family. Everybody wearing an Atkinson shirt today, by the way.
Queensboro can hold for the final shot.
There he is.
And James McDaniel.
There's Birch.
McDaniel picked it off. 44-41. Brown throwing up a buzzer beater. No good.
You know what? He's got a little bit of the Birch haircut. That's why he said that. You know, the high cut sides. 44-41.
Entertaining first half.
Give it to McDaniel. I always liked him as a ball player, James McDaniel, and he did a good job at the end of that half there. So just showed you, guys are not too old to play ball. They're putting up a good show today.
Halftime score, Queensboro 44, Alumni 41. Second half about to begin. Queensboro leading the Alumni 44-42. David Russell back with Joe Massey. Second game of the Alumni doubleheader, and the Alumni get the ball to begin the second half.
Well, it was nice to have Tom Sinnixon with us for about a game and about 5 minutes, 10 minutes of the second game, but I guess he had to get the milk and get home, you know?
I think a lot of people might need to get home. That's why the halftime was 3 minutes.
Had to pick up the milk and...
Nice play by Joshua Williams to tie up Chris Brown.
I noticed one fella down there, Hunt, wearing a shirt that says Atkinson Classic. He was wearing one. Is that what this game is called, or do they have a game called the Atkinson Classic?
Well, I think this is part of it. It's the Mac Atkinson Classic, and then another tie-up.
All right, starting out very slowly here on the on the receiving end, and you imagine some of these alumni, they probably have to be feeling a little bit right now. So I expect the game to go at a slower pace.
There's a three-pointer for the lead. It's no good. Rebounded by Bibb and Tressa.
See, the legs weren't really under that jump shot that time. Yeah.
Carter tried to force a pass. Dabney Hunt the other way. Hunt couldn't tie the game. Carter.
Great effort by Hunt, but he couldn't get it.
Pull-up jumper is no good. Alumni can tie or take the lead. Went right through the hands. Out of bounds. We'll stay at that end. Very sloppy first minute and 20 seconds of the second half.
James McDaniel not showing any wear and tear. Still going after that ball.
Hunt going inside. Nice pass to Brown, who finishes off glass. We're tied at 44.
That was the pass to Brown, one of the newer old-timers.
Bibbin for three. It's good. Queensboro takes a 47-44 lead. Tresta now with 8 points. Brown, guarded by Williams. Here's Kia. Outside, down to 15 on the shot clock. Brown puts it in again. Back-to-back baskets by Chris Brown. It's 47-46.
There's an example of what good ball movement can do for you. They really bought that shot there. Clock running down.
Carter misses badly. Nice play by Wilkins to throw it off of Kia and keep possession.
Wilkins has done several nice things of the smaller variety on the court today.
Nice pass to Carter, who finishes. 49-46.
And we'll get a timeout right here. It's a three-point game, and it's been that way a lot in this game. The current Queensboro Tigers had pulled out to a 12-point lead at one point.
We're up 26-13. That was the biggest lead in this game. They're in a close one right now with 17:22 to go.
Well, the question surrounding this year's Tigers, who's going to be like the go-to players when the game gets down to the nitty-gritty? Who do you think so far, David? Who do you think might be in line for that?
Maybe Joshua Lee would be my very early guess.
They have several new players.
Depends if they want to pound it inside to Chateau. They could go that route.
They should have a little more of an inside game this year with Sven Hunt from Cardozo. It was 6'6".
It's always nice for a coach. Can't teach size. Wilkins got a hand on the pass intended for Brown. Queensboro back the other way. Kyle Reed all the way to the basket and off glass. It's 51-46.
Yeah, he made the defender look like he was standing still on that.
Good defense by Queensboro.
Settled for the outside shot that time. Couldn't come up with it. This is where they have to start punching and making that lead grow. Not able to there.
Reed lost it underneath. Dabney Hunt the other way. Spin move, a pass. And McDaniel finishes. It's 51-48.
Good vision by Dabney Hunt. He saw him coming down the right side out of the blind side, and he got him the ball.
Williams, nice bounce pass, and Reed finishes. 53-48.
That you like to see if you're the current Tigers. Kyle Reed on the receiving end there.
Reed now with 6 points.
See how this team can play defense now. Not bad.
Williams going to go all the way to the basket. Wave the basket off, I believe.
Did he walk with the ball?
Was it an offensive foul away from the ball? Illegal screen of some kind, I believe, against Kyle Reed, who was trying to keep Keough away from the ball handler. So wave the basket off, still 53-48.
Well, it stayed a game, huh, David?
Yeah, when it was 26-13, we thought maybe the Alumni are too tired to compete in this one. They are not.
Carl Domingo's going to try to lift them up a little bit here. Let's see. Up, up. Too much drop on that pass, and it went right by the right leg of Taylor. Amory Taylor.
Under 15.5 to play. Carter trapped by Amengo.
Wow, good defense there, yeah. Got to get the 2 here, but he can't come up with the ball.
There's Brown. Brown couldn't hit that one. Already hit 2 shots this half. Bibbin for 3. That's no good. Got his own rebound, and it's fouled inside. A little quicker than the Alumni.
Yeah, a little quicker, 1 step quicker, and that's all it's going to take, and you're getting to that basket. And there was a little bit of an explosion there. Now they can increase the lead to 7 if they can make these free throws.
First one is good, 54-48. Misses the second. Alumni ball. Now some trapping from Queensboro, but a foul is called.
Foul on the far sideline as they were going after the ball. Still a lot of time on that clock there. 14:54 to go on it.
Alumni looking to cut into the lead. Santos. Jumper from the free throw line is well short. Carter.
Look out.
Carter back outside. Bibbin back to Carter. Nice pass to Kyle Reed, but he couldn't hit. Alumni ball, 14:32 to go.
Still can't lose the Alumni yet. Get the feeling they're going to be in this down to the late stages the way they're playing. Have to find some offense right now, though. There's a little try at one.
It was a nice pass by Santos. Bibbin had the shot blocked from behind. That pass is picked off. Nice play by Kevin Wilkins.
Oh.
It's a wild play right now. And after all of that, a foul called, and the Alumni don't like it.
One of the newer veterans going after that ball.
And a full timeout taken by the Alumni with 13:57 to go.
Another good show here. Another good show. Couple of baskets, and they'd be right smack in this game, the Alumni team. They'd be down by 2 if they had converted. So now they'll take a seat on the bench and get a little bit of rest, I imagine. That current Queensboro squad is standing over near head coach Teron Simpson. Teron's the head coach today. I look at Dave. Tehran is in there coaching in that huddle.
And the alumni are busy dancing.
He's trying to squeeze a little more out of his current Tigers. Brings you back to the days when the NFL champion used to play the All-Stars in college football. Remember that?
Huh.
No, you don't remember.
No, I remember reading about it, but that's not the same, is it?
That was fun. Of course, you hope there weren't any injuries or anything like that, but it was fun. They wouldn't do that today. Too much at stake, Dave. Too much in terms of the college players' careers and too much at stake with the pro players. They don't want to have anything like that. A lot of money out there.
55-48 as Carter hits the first.
You realize Billy Cunningham, when he played for the 76ers, had to get a summer job?
Like Jim Palmer after he won the World Series in '66, I think he was selling suits that offseason.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to see Mark Teixeira selling suits anywhere this offseason.
Just wearing them. Well, the way he's had injury problems, he's lucky to be wearing a Yankee suit right now. But no downgrade on Teixeira, but he's had really tough health problems.
That pass was a little too far out in front of Chris Brown. Alumni throwing away a few opportunities here.
Well, they're shooting themselves in the foot, or collective feet. Now they're going to try to play a little zone defense here. And
Eric White to Lee.
And they forced a double dribble on that zone defense.
Well, I guess they'll stick with it until Queensboro can beat it.
Guess they're pulling all the tricks out of the bag today. Hey, nice dribble, huh?
A Mango is straight on three. It's no good. Chateau with the rebound. Brown to Lee. And that'll be a tie-up.
It was a jump ball situation, which stays with Queensboro. Which Queensboro? The white Queensboro.
Queensboro, not Alumni.
Everything is Queensboro today.
Patrick Brown to Lee. White, mid-range jumper,
open. Yeah.
rims out. Chateau with the offensive rebound.
Good
spin
rebound.
move. Shot is no good, and then Wills can't put it in. Light can't put it in. Wills gets it back, and a foul is called.
Boy, not only is that kid 6'6", but he's got some good footwork, good spins when he gets his shots up. He's going to be a good player.
Queensboro couldn't score, and the Alumni couldn't rebound.
Don't you think, Dave?
Yeah, Chateau was here 2 years ago on the Bobby Holford team. They would
Ben Hunt.
Chateau is number 15.
Excuse me?
Jordan Chateau.
Oh, okay.
15.
Chateau.
He was on the Holford team.
But he's got some good moves in that low post.
Bobby liked running some designed alley-oops for him. Not too many players at this level that get alley-oops designed for them in the huddle, but he was one of them.
Jordan Chateau, he's from Lowell High School. Looks like a Lowell player, the way he makes those moves.
First free throw is good.
I think he stands to get a lot of minutes this year, and if he plays like that, I think he's going to help this team.
Might be one of the key guys. He's going against the other team's bigs.
Give him a little punch, you know.
57-48. 12:30 to go.
Let's watch him on defense a little bit here. Let's see what he does.
Three-pointer is no good. Rebounded by Chris Brown. Then McDaniel puts it in on the second try. It's 57-50. Patrick Brown to Chateau. Chateau, nice spin move inside, couldn't finish.
See what I mean? He's got that dexterity, he's got the footwork, he's got a nice game.
I still have to get used to him as number 15.
Yeah.
Still used to him as 25.
But you mentioned the brothers who played for York. One for York, one for Queensboro.
As Brown is fouled.
And he reminds me a little bit of a Sauniers, the way he gets to the basket. At least Marcel. Leo. Excuse me, Leo. Marcel was
you
more
already
of
have the Marcel comparison.
Yeah.
That's, well.
Leo was a little more of a power player, but Marcel was quick. He was quick getting to the basket.
Queensboro had a really good player inside a few years ago, Taylor Jenkins, who didn't play that much. But he would always seem to come into a game and score 8 or 10 points. As Chris Brown hits both free throws, it's 57-52.
Well, I'll tell you this, when Queensboro, except for the Holford year, when they have a little bigger player, they seem to do better. They seem to put more wins on the board.
Counted on the foul.
Nice shot, hitting the deck and getting fouled, and that'll, did they give him the basket on that?
They did. It's 60-52. Joshua Lee is the first Queensboro player to get to 10 points.
I said Lee out of Cardoso. They're going to need a lot of that from him this year because you said they lost Joseph Turner. He was valuable out there.
Usually knew you were going to get double-digit scoring from him.
Yeah, you knew what you were going to get, and it's dependability. You lose it.
He had a tough ending his last game here against BMCC, the must-win game. He only had 3 points, and I believe they were all on free throws. In the 53-50 loss, that shot makes it 60-54.
That's the way McDaniel was when they played here at Queensboro. He was on that squad that, you know, they had Lexus, and yeah, it was a tough team. Tough team.
Wills to Chateau, and the shot rims out. Off the leg, it will go to Queensboro.
Yeah, he could have been a little more assertive on that move right there. I thought he tried to be a little too, a little too elegant, and he took himself out of a chance of laying it in.
Some of the problems with the bigs the last few years, they play a little smaller than they are. You might want to see them.
You might want to get it. Yeah, you might want to
get
get him the ball again and make him do something else here to get his confidence back. But that time it got smacked away.
Nice play by Keogh.
And that's not one of his problems. He's not too delicate around the basket.
Well, like the move he does when he lets it go and he puts his left arm over his head.
I played against and with kids like him in the park.
Saying something to the ref.
Telling the official, everything's okay. Don't worry about it. Free throw is good.
60-57. Watch that, will you? The way he puts his non-shooting hand behind his head.
That's the best way to say it, Dave. He has that Park mentality about playing the game. He's fearless.
Chateau.
Good play by Chateau.
Made a volleyball tap.
You might want to keep getting him the ball. Just see what you have there a little bit. Test him a little bit, because once the season starts, not going to be easy for Chateau, because the people are going to see his size and they're going to come at him.
And those are the guys that take the most punishment.
Yeah. And if anything, this alumni squad can bang bodies with you. That's one thing they can do.
Lee puts up a 3, and it's no good. A Mango pass to Brown was tipped.
That was a little bit of a blur as to whose ball it should be. I don't even know, really.
So they give it to current Queensboro.
Current Queensboro.
Thought I'd test that out. That's probably, I think the alumni are saying they should have the ball. I think the fact that one of the Queensboro players tried saving it in would indicate that
they should get it just on the basis that they're current. They should just get the ball anyway, you know?
Maybe that's what the refs were thinking.
Yeah. A lot of limited real estate on that baseline, and he obviously did not stay in the allotted area. You like that?
I do. 9:51 to go. Queensboro leading the Alumni 60-57. Will we be in store for another buzzer beater?
Could be. I think both teams are starting to wear down a little bit.
How do you explain that for the new guys,
Well,
though?
because they're getting banged a little bit. You know, they're not. I don't know if they're used to that.
There's a turnover. A little sloppy play.
It's one thing about younger players. If you can tussle them and, you know, so to speak, smack them around a little bit, then they're not quite as cocky as they were starting the game.
Keough trying to tie it. It's no good. Still 60-57.
There you
Lee
go.
up ahead. Nice pass. Nice finish.
There's a good play. I mean, that's exactly what they should be doing, and to blow this game open.
Green Paul makes it 62-57. That shot's no good. Brown no good. Queensboro ball.
Run, 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 run now.
And Joshua Lee finishes off glass 64-57. Under 9 minutes to go.
Watch it, David. Run, run.
Lee has a dozen points.
If that's what gets you over, then you got to keep doing it.
And a reach-in foul called. A good call, although Orleans Metellus didn't seem to think so.
That was on Lee.
Long two by Brown is good at 64-59.
Yeah,
Brown's been playing a nice game.
If you're the current team, get that ball up court now. That's your game. Get that ball up court right away.
Paul takes a three, which is no good. Out of bounds, it stays with Queensboro.
You want to have ways. You want to have ways of attacking now, David. And if you're the younger team, you want to get that ball up there and don't let the big guys get set up and bang you. Just take over the game, and that's what they got to do. That's why this is an exhibition game for them, but they can learn some things from it.
Almost want to say, just run the fast break, everybody get a lane, and we'll find you. As a foul is called.
Can at least practice that. And there's still 8:17 on the clock. It's only a 5-point lead, so nothing's in the bag as of yet.
It's actually going to be a 1-1.
Do you think the current squad's going to win this game? It's still up in the air yet. Oh, this is kind of big free throws here. Let's watch them.
Shrestha makes the front end of a 1-1, 65-59. He has 10 points now.
He had a good first season last year out of Flushing High School.
Makes both at 66-59.
Very quick, very active, a real team ball player, Shrestha.
McDaniel to Brown, back to McDaniel. Now Hunt. Dribbled it off of McDaniel. Still 15 on the shot clock. Brown off glass, no good.
It actually went off the body as he was trying to bring it down.
Kareem Paul,
He was falling, and the ball hit him in the chest, and it went out. But they're trying to force the alumni out further and make them start their drives from way out top, and it's taken a little bit out of them right now.
A long three from Hunt is no good, and Paul chases it down. Bibbin Shrestha.
And then run.
And
run,
then
baby. Run, baby.
And Paul lays it in. 68-59. So a few spin moves.
Uh-oh.
And they threw up a wild one, threw up an air ball, and now Queensboro's going to do a little more running.
He got caught. Run, baby, run.
5-on-4.
Open jumper. Got to get that. Now it's an 11-point lead, see?
70-59. Alumni hanging on by a thread. Approaching 7 minutes to play.
I think they've taken their best shot today, David. We'll see.
Brown's shot is no good, and rebounded by Cottingham. Excuse me, by Monroe. Underneath, the shot is swatted away by Chris Brown.
Good block by Chris Brown. But they don't have much gas left in the tank, so to speak. And all Queensboro current team has to do is keep running, and they're going to win this game.
Lee, well, floater is good. It's 72-59. Lee with 14 points now. And all of a sudden, a 13-point game. I believe that's 8 points in a row for Queensboro.
Hey, it was an exhibition, but it was a very real exhibition, you know, very good.
Not over yet. Three-pointer by McDaniel is good.
Yeah, not over yet, says McDaniel.
72-62. Shrestha answers back.
Big shot there. Got to hit that shot.
70,
wide open.
75-62. Amengo. A foul called with 6:05 remaining.
Back in the old days, Carl would have made that shot, but these are not the old days, of course. He's in good shape, though, Carl. Very good shape.
And standing in front of the right free throw line.
Yes, that's right. He and Tehran, I think, went over it during the timeout.
Better to make that mistake in this game than against Nassau.
Yeah, right. That's for real, but they'll play that one for real, and those for real. And I think they want to have a decent season here, at least. I know they're probably not going to be top of the CUNY, but they want to have a real good year.
Amengo makes both at 75-64. 6 minutes remaining. Eric White misses. Out of bounds, it goes to the Alumni.
Well, it's been a pleasure being here today and watching both games.
Usually when you come to Queensboro to announce, it's about 15 degrees outside. You actually got a nice day. Is it 70 degrees now in late October?
It's 17 today. It's very nice. No, it's 70, you're right.
In late October.
Whoa!
Joshua Williams makes it 77-66.
Showing he has burn power there.
Santos launches a really deep three and misses.
Ball game.
Yeah. Williams to Light off glass. And Eric Light makes it 79-66. 13-point game. 5:03 to go, and timeout is called by the Alumni.
Boy, there's nothing young players like to do more than to just run and go to the hoop. They enjoy that a lot, and they've done that to open up this 13-point lead. But let's give the Alumni a lot of credit, boy. They came in here to play today. They didn't come out here and dog it.
No.
And give us 2 boring games. They really have been there for much of the day.
And how good was that first game? How exciting was the ending?
Very exciting, highly exciting. Might have been the best game we've seen here in a couple of years.
In terms of the regular season.
In terms of endings, anyway. So they turned back the clock a little bit today, David, and it's always nice to do that.
Like somehow if they could work it, I don't know how they would. Last year, the Alumni game, there were a few plays where Tehran went against Carl one-on-one. That was entertaining. 5 minutes to play. Alumni looking for one last rally. Dabney Hunt. Fadeaway jumper is good.
Nice shot. He's had a big day, Hunt.
79-68.
He's happy with himself, smiling, and now they get a turnover.
And Hunt.
Whoa! Oh, what are you going to call
it?
carried the ball? Wait.
There's a technical foul against the Alumni coach.
Yeah. Yep. They were even handing out technicals in this game. I didn't think they would do that.
Not sure if he was on the court or he said something.
Well, it's going to give Pichardo a good experience. He wants to be an official, as they said, but he got ticketed there. Who got called for that anyway? Was the coach called for it?
Yeah, it was the coach.
So that gives him a little experience being on the other end of getting a technical anyway.
81-70.
Now maybe when he is refereeing himself, he's going to be a little more liberal on those calls. You never know.
Wonder what he said to get a technical foul in an Alumni game.
Yeah, I've got to ask somebody if they want to divulge that information. Of course, that might be highly classified. You never know.
Very true.
There you go.
The light misses.
Ow.
So after all of that, Queensboro has it. 3-on-2. Reed, floater.
Offensive foul, though.
It's a charge, no basket. 4:11 to play.
All right, no more technicals now because can't afford them. If you were writing this game, David, you would say inexperience on the bench cost them this game. Nah, we're only joshing.
I didn't expect to see a technical foul today, though.
Right.
Busy day. A buzzer beater and a technical foul in the Alumni games.
Fake, give, travel. Fake,
What?
give, travel. They did everything well until the travel on that.
Wonder if it gets to a point where Queensboro starts to slow down a little bit. Run some time off the clock.
Oh, the game's over. I think they're just giving the Alumni a little chance to rest right now, you know.
And a foul is called.
These guys have played hard all day, so they want to give them a little time to wind down. A lot of them have to get in their car and go home, and it's not like it was in the old days, right? Used to be able to just play ball, go shower, get out, go dancing all night. These guys are going to be hitting the bed at about 6 o'clock, I think.
Are you projecting?
I don't know. Who knows?
Williams makes it 83-70. 3.5 to play.
Well, let's say they won't have a lot of verve when they get home like they normally do.
Thought about the three, goes inside. The 2-point shot is no good. Eric White misses that shot.
Throw it.
And it hit Kyle Reed in the back.
You don't want to see anyone get hurt now.
Laying down.
You got a little skin burn on that one.
And a foul called with 2:59 remaining. 83-70.
You got to watch your hips, too, because you get those pains in your hip now. You're
not that old, Joe.
You'd be surprised, David. You can't take the impact like you used to. When I used to play ball in the park, and I'm going back 15 years, it would be a chore, and then you come home and you'd have to get over all your ailments. You want to play very competitively, but you got to pay for it later. That's what the younger guys back then, they used to bait you into it. Come on, you don't have it no more.
And then you'd walk home sore all over. And they're like, hey, he was right, I don't have it anymore.
And then you realized you weren't in the mod squad anymore. There's a good, that was a nice look and a nice opening, and they converted on it.
Nice basket by Eric White. It's 85-70. And Light chases it down. 2:35 left. Nice pass inside. Nice lefty shot by Joshua Williams. 17-point lead for Queensboro.
I'll tell you, Kia's given it everything he has here today. And we noticed some of the little older players like Craig Taylor did not play in this game. He kind of got out of here.
Layup is good by Reed, 89-70. This is a game that won't really show how close or entertaining it was. And Brown puts it in and is fouled.
No, the Alumni played very well. And I've been at other Alumni games, and I think this one has topped some of those that I attended. The guys have really come out to play today. Terrific. Some of the other ones were more like a show game. This has been real basketball.
2:02 to go. Brown makes it 89-73. And somebody fouled out, Kyle Reed.
Doesn't matter, right?
Well,
really
hey,
doesn't matter. Really doesn't matter, shame it.
Rev matters to the refs. They're not going to let him play with 5 fouls.
One of my old friends, the late Jim Carvelis, in the midst of a soccer game, when the game was all over, Seamus Mallon said to him something, and he said, really doesn't matter anymore, Seamus. There you go.
Carter misses, rebounded by Amengo.
It's a good chance to add to your scoring total today, though.
And a charge, or to your foul total.
Now, as far as the current Queensboro team, how do you think they played? They played pretty well, right? I mean, they did what they had to do.
I mean, I still haven't seen them in a game where they're not facing 30-year-olds in an exhibition.
Yeah,
so
well,
it's still a little early.
But they did what they had to do anyway.
They did. It's a lot to like. Chateau looks good.
As Carl Amengo just hit the floor. I want to get too many bumps and bruises now. Oh.
And a foul called on Brown.
Even when you get later in your career, you say nagging injuries, and that's what those feel like.
Hey, Queensboro careers are only 2 years, though. So.
But then you got to realize some of these guys played about 7, 8 years ago.
True.
Yep.
First one is good, 90-73.
Nice free throw there. Good form.
Williams, the third Tiger to be in double-digit scoring.
And if you go back in the next wave, some of them played about almost 20 years ago, 18, 17.
Yeah. 90-75 now. 1:15 to go. That's tipped in.
So, Dave, if you use that math, you're at some points close to 40. That's uncharted waters.
Brown, three-pointer is an air ball. 4 different Tigers in double-digit scoring now.
Let's give a hand to the Alumni, though. They did a fine job today. They put up a good show for the people on hand.
Definitely did. And Hunt misses a 3.
Whoa! No, they're trying to make people come out of their seats a little bit.
Went for the alley-oop, and 2 Tigers went for it. Good thing they didn't get injured. Imagine 2 Tigers injuring each other by running into each other on a dunk.
You don't want to see any injuries in a game like this. That's one thing. Any.
Let's see if somebody tries an alley-oop now. And Hunt will take the corner 3, adding to his stats. And a timeout called by the Alumni with 9 seconds to go. 94-80.
Been a great day for Dabney Hunt, donning his old athletic pants and the Queensboro shirt.
I don't think anybody cares about the timeout they called. And then it's turned over. Carl Amengo for 3, and it's good. 94-83. Can Queensboro beat the buzzer?
Yeah, I guess the star of the second game, you'd have to give it to Amengo the way he played. Amengo really kept them in this game, certain avenue. And that's it. So the current Tigers beat the little older Tigers squad.
I think the first alumni game had a slightly more exciting ending.
Yep.
Than the back to the basket over
but
that
as
air
I
ball.
said, you got to give these guys credit because they really went all out.
They did.
Put on a good show here today.
That was a lot of fun. 96-83, the final in this one. Queensboro beating the Alumni. 2 entertaining games.
Maybe somebody will put an alumni league together. You never know.
That would be cool. As long as we could announce.
Who's in first place? Whoever lasts the season.
Whoever has 5 guys left.
Yes.
Carl Amengo will give a talk to the Tigers and the Alumni at midcourt.
These guys showed us they're still in pretty good shape, and they still can play the game, though, and it was a pleasure being with you today.
Thanks for being here, Joe.
Yeah.
So Joe Massey with David Russell. The final, Queensboro 96, the Alumni 83.